Guys, what's up? Maik Wiedenbach here, talking about must-do exercises, or are there any? So whenever you enter a gym or you pick up a magazine or whatever, there's always like, yo bro, you gotta do bench, deadlift and squat and barbell curl to get huge. But it's actually true. Honestly, it's a lot of crap. Because the answer to most questions is, it depends. So let's take it from the top. To get huge, there's a couple of things you gotta do. You have to squat, hip hinge, push and pull in good form. True. You also have to work the entire strength curve, and you have to activate fibers. Now, some exercises might just not work for you, okay? Not because they're bad, but they don't work for you. For instance, the bench. So you wanna train my pecs, okay? My pecs, they do this. Yeah, that's their motion. So when I'm benching with my long arms, I'm not getting much pec activation. It's mostly tris and shoulders. Therefore, it's just not a good idea. Let's take the squat. The squat's a great exercise for some people. Like, I have short legs, fantastic. My brother is 6'8", has really long legs. If he squats, the shearing forces on his knee are brutal, okay? So instead, somebody like him, or even somebody with like a lower back injury, be much better off using the trap bar, generate tension and simply drive it into the floor without standing up fully. If your gym doesn't have a trap bar, change gyms. For glutes and quads, I would also recommend the step up. So the step up, the first thing that you do is you figure out your active range of motion, which means you're pulling whatever you can with your quads. Okay? Yes, I can do this, but my quads don't work anymore. So I'll be stepping up, and then I'm driving from the front foot. So there's no hopping from the back, just from the front. Another exercise I really like for that particular muscle group would be the stiff lunge. So you elevate the front heel, come down, and really focus on the quads and glutes during the work. Now, of course, that is much less elegant than, let's say, squatting 4 plates, but you get bigger gains. So what are you really after? And let's talk about a deadlift. So the deadlift, fine, it's a good exercise, but what do you want? Lower back development, hamstrings. Some people say they train for power. So I say, what does that mean? I mean, you're a bodybuilder. Nobody cares if you can deadlift. So let's say you're doing something hamstring focused, okay? Take the dumbbells. First thing you do is you plant your heels. And from there on, you would be just driving the heels into the floor and working only from the hamstrings. You would never lose the hamstrings. Go like this, and you keep them. The moment you come like this, your lower back works, and that's no bueno. Also, please, don't stand on these boxes. Also, that's just idiotic. Why would you stand up there? Like, you only have to go down to here. You're just adding instability. So, chasing YouTube clips for health, not a good idea. Let's talk about lats. So the lats, people always say pull-ups. The problem with pull-ups is that most people aren't very good at it, so they cheat their way up and they swing. And let's think about it logically. Tensional lat happens like this. You rotate the hand, right? Now my gym has rotating handles on the pull-ups, which is great. So I can actually do that. If you don't, I'd recommend setting up something like this for lat pull down, where you rotate the hand in and then simply pull down like so. And you never ever let the tension go. Just keep it all the way through. So even on a straight bar lat pull down, it would be very hard without, using your spine being bent like so to get the type of tension. Well, what people really want to know is, of course, the pecs. So the pecs, one of the best exercises is actually the underhanded cable fly. So here you would be doing just like this with a slight tilt. Get a good stretch. and a slight tilt. And then you can add your presses or what have you. Shoulders. So most people get that wrong. So for the shoulder press, I prefer the so-called Aaron's press, where you start slightly tilted and then you drive it out. Okay? So your shoulders have to work so much harder than they would do otherwise. So that would be all around the delt. Then for the medial delt, we all know I hate absolutely from the bottom of my heart the so-called pulls. So instead we're doing V-pulls. It's like an upright row for smart people, okay? So you move from here to here. And then the rear delt, that could be done best probably at the cable, where you'll be setting up something like this, stabilize, and just pull out straight. So while the push press is fun, it's not so great for just activating the delts. For biceps, I've always been told that the barbell curl is the king, and it's just not. It's just not. Because the biceps do this, and they do that. Now, obviously, you can't do this with the barbell. So something like this would be the most money, the most bang for your buck, basically. So you stand here, you curl up and turn out. Stabilize, put the thumb under. Now this being a cable, you can pull all the way up, whereas with a dumbbell, as we talked before, that would only be up to here, let's say, because then you would be pulling it toward you. And for the triceps, you're never gonna guess this, but the exercise activates the most fibers in the tris is actually a banded or resistance push-up, reasonably close, something like this. Do not put plates on your back. Years back, I remember one guy in my gym, the plate slid and one of his fingers came off. As not a good idea, so don't do that. So what I'm saying to you guys is the following. Don't follow blindly just because you gotta do X. Ask yourself, do I activate enough fibers? Do I feel it? And do I cover the strength curve? So let's say you're doing an incline bench. That's only your mid-range. What are you doing for your stretch position and for your contracted position? If an exercise doesn't work for you and you don't feel it, out, okay? There's no must-do exercises. There's only what works for you, okay? So stay smart, get huge. Mike out.